Hello, my name is Bradley Treadway, and today we're going to be looking at an interactive formative assessment called Emoji Connections. So what is Emoji Connections? Well, Emoji Connections is a way to gauge what students have learned during class, find out what surprised or excited them, and learn what they want to learn or try to do next. Now, why would we use Emoji Connections? Well, we want to find out what our students find interesting about the class. We also want to find out what they're looking forward to in the next class or the weeks to come. And overall, we want to make sure that we're developing their interest in the subject and developing their ability to learn in the subject. So when should you use emoji connections? The best time is at the end of the class session. You need a few minutes to utilize it, and you need to have set aside some time for both answering and for discussion of the answers. And how do we use emoji connections? Any polling or survey website will work. For the example that we'll see later on, I use polleverywhere.com. It's a really easy and quick free site that you can utilize in a classroom to gather data on what your students are interested in. Now for the emoji connections, these are the 15 emojis that we're going to use. You can mix and mash and change. I mean, there's a million emojis out there to utilize, but these are the 15 we're going to use today as an example. As far as our learners and intended targets, this is good for all students. The one caveat is that they will need to have a smartphone or a computer to utilize. In the school district that I work in, all students are given a laptop computer, so that makes it easy for them to engage in this activity, but in some districts that might not be the case. What it does is it collects data on what the students have learned, what they enjoyed about the class, and what they are looking forward to in the future. It also gives us a chance to collect the data and read through the responses later on to adjust any of our lesson plans for the future. So for our example, we'll be looking at a ninth grade health class that has 17 students in it, and we just went over our CPR section in our first aid and CPR class. The question that's posed to them at the end of the class period is to choose an emoji to describe one thing that they learned in today's lesson about CPR. And just like those 15 we saw before, they're all listed there. If they bring it up on their phone or on their computer, they'll have the option to choose one of those 15 options. Ideally, this would be presented on up on a whiteboard through a projector, and the students would see in real time how they're responding. And you can see here, these are responses that were generated from these students. They kind of are grouped together in certain ways, but they're kind of all over the place as well. After that initial question, they will then go to a second question, and that one they will type the chosen emoji and add a quick statement about why they chose an emoji. You can see here that some of the responses that the students left. One is little sunglasses. That says that they want to make a difference and they feel good about making a difference. One shows a heart face, heart eyes. They say they'd love to be able to help. One student looks nervous, the nervous emoji, and says, "I'm nervous, I might screw up," and so on and so forth. So it's interesting to kind of see, how the students feel afterwards, and it gives us some insight into, what areas we might need to work on, what areas we might that we excelled in, and gives us some feedback from our students. So in conclusion, just as I mentioned, that's one of the biggest things about this is generating some student feedback is a great tool for us to utilize. It allows students to voice their concerns about the subject that is experienced, and it also gives them a chance to see how their peers feel, and they may feel the same, and that gives them a little more confidence in that they're not alone in the way they feel, whether it's in a positive or negative fashion. This kind of formative assessment can be used in a high school or collegiate setting, mostly because of the utilization of technology. But if technology was available to younger ages, it could be utilized there as well. Thank you for listening and have a good day.